Michael, I know we always joke about the physicality, but how hard is it to get your team to buy into that mindset? It obviously set the tone in that first quarter.
Yeah, I don't think it's hard at all. I mean, this is playoff basketball. If you don't have a physical mindset, you're going to be going home early. I thought we had a physical mindset in that Utah series, coming back from a 3-1 deficit. And I thought tonight we were a noticeably different team tonight than we were in game one. Our defense, our activity, and the fact that we were willing to help each other. I thought Jeremy Grant's defense on Kawhi was spectacular, but the four guys behind it were giving the necessary help. I thought Gary Harris's defense on Paul George was terrific, but the help behind that was what we need and what we didn't have in game one. Obviously, the one area we have to clean up is the offensive rebounds. We played great defense, but they're able to grab 19 offensive rebounds, I believe, for 27 points. So if we can defend at the same level and clean up the glass, then we have a chance to really make some headway in this series.
All right, next we'll go to TJ McBride. TJ, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, to build off that defensive thing that you just spoke about, a lot of the conversation was around how do you defend Kawhi Leonard and Paul George at the same time? And it seems like Jeremy Grant and Gary Harris have been a duo that you have found that you can rely on in that. What have they done that has worked so well individually as opposed to just what was behind them to make life difficult at the point of attack for both of them?
Yeah, I mean, that's the luxury of a guy like Jeremy Grant who can guard almost every position on the court. He's got tremendous size, length, athleticism. He knows his personnel and the tendencies. And the same thing with Gary Harris. Those are two guys that take the challenge head on. They take pride in their defense. And, for example, Jeremy struggled to make shots tonight. But without his defense on Kawhi, we don't win the game. Gary Harris obviously got really hot in that fourth quarter, made 3 threes, which is a huge part of our win. But his defense on Paul George was fantastic. But I do have to say, TJ, you can play the best defense in the world one-on-one, but if that help's not built in, if you're hugged up on the perimeter, you can't guard them one-on-one. I don't care what you do. But the guys bought into the help concept, shrinking the floor, showing them a crowd. And we had a great example after great example tonight. Now the question and challenge is, can we do that again in game 3 and be even better with it?
All right, next we'll go to Tim Reynolds. Tim, go ahead.
Michael, you mentioned the importance of having that physicality to start, but there was also a toughness in the fourth quarter too. I mean, the lead was getting away. They got it down to 5, and I think you guys ran off 8 or 10 in a row at that point. What did that say about the start was one thing, but what's it say about the toughness with which you finished the game as well?
Yeah, I think at the end of the game, I think that was a major point. But even in that second quarter, they came out and were kind of blitzing us. And how we closed that second quarter, I think, was really important going into the second half. Down the stretch, they turned it up. They were down big. They turned up their pressure. They started blitzing our pick and rolls. We did not handle it very well, to be honest. We have to be a lot better when they start blitzing Jamal, finding the openings, giving the ball up and making the easy pass. But we've won a lot of close games in the last 5 years. Our group believes in themselves. We've shown that we're a very resilient group that can execute and find ways to win in close games down the stretch. And, it's great to be able to tie the series up and have that life and belief going into the next game.
All right, we'll go to Mark Medina, who is there. Mark, go ahead.
Good to see you. What do you think got Jamal and Nikola going, considering their issues in game 1?
Yeah, that first quarter, Nikola was phenomenal. Obviously, I think the big point of emphasis coming out of game 1 for us was as the game wore on, we stood, the ball didn't move, the bodies didn't move, we just came down and settled. We did not make their defense work at all. I felt tonight there was a marked difference in our approach, our energy, our movement, and we made ourselves a lot harder to guard. And when we're at our best, the ball finds the open man, right? The ball, the pass is king, finds the open man, and Nikola was open. Their bigs are down the floor. He made the right reads, and he shot it well. And Jamal, you could tell, was much more rested tonight compared to game 1 and ready to go and had a very big night for us as well.
All right, we have time for one more here, and we'll end with Kendra Andrews. Kendra, go ahead.
Hey, Michael, you've touched on it here and there so far, but what allows you guys to get off to a 44-point first quarter?
Yeah, I think it was when we defend, our identity is try to defend, rebound, and run. And I thought to start the game, our defense was fantastic. We were coming up with stops, rebounds, loose balls, and that fueled our break. That got us out in the open court. So now you're not playing against a set defense for 48 minutes. If we have to take the ball out of the net and play against their defense in the half court, it will make for a very long night offensively. We are at our best, Kendra, when we can get out and attack. And the ball moved. We had energy in the ball, and we had energy in our bodies. We weren't just standing around and ball watching ourselves. And that's when we're at our best. And it's hard to sustain that for 48 minutes. We had some really good examples, and we have some stretches where we have to be a lot better. And I know we will. We'll clean that up tomorrow.
All right, Coach. We appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks, Lauren. Thanks, guys.